Julie Edge, MHK for Onchan.
Do you believe that the proposed changes to the pensions triple lock might not actually comply with the Equality Act?
Well, I'm wanting government to actually confirm that it does, is really the purpose of my question. However, clearly it is a change to people who would be reaching retirement age after the 5th of April 2019. And that's a group of people, I think Dr. Allenson describes it, of a third of people within that pension age. And, I want to make sure there's no discrimination and that it is fair if it does get approved by Tynwald.
What specific groups of pensioners do you think could potentially be disadvantaged by this proposal?
Well, it's anybody who's reached state pension age since the 5th of April 2019. But the one thing that people seem to forget, with this change that came in particularly for women, is that part of the Equality Act. It is a specific group. So since women's retirement age changed from 60, a lot of people obviously will be retiring between 60 and 68 now. So they have paid in a lot longer as well. So it is concerning. And I see that Scotland have actually been trying to address this issue as well. But my concern is the people of the Isle of Man, and to reduce it from the triple lock, which is set at, I think it's 2.5, to say it's 2%. When every other cost of living is rising, I think these individuals who are due to receive a pension, if they were receiving it, who retired after the 5th of April 2019, they haven't had that opportunity because they've already reached retirement age. So they haven't had the opportunity like the younger generationals. And if we're talking intergenerational fairness, I think we could be doing this in a different way.
So what's being proposed instead is the Manx pension guarantee. Do you think that provides enough certainty for pensioners in the long term?
No, I don't believe it does. Clearly, there is groups of people who will still be receiving the Manx state pension supplement, and obviously that's reducing over time. However, there's groups of people that will still be receiving that, and then these new groups of people will not. One of the things I did say in the debate was that if there was to be any significant changes, we should have a Manx state pension supplement. And I don't believe that this would be the equivalent of that going forward.
The Treasury Minister has warned that the National Insurance Fund will run out by 2047 if no action is taken. What alternative solutions do you think could be proposed to ensure pension sustainability but also meet that certainty for pensioners?
Well, clearly, it's actually a social contract that pensioners have taken out with the government, isn't it, to ensure that there's a pension for them. One of the things that really does concern me, Christian, there seems to be within the Parliament a presumption that the majority of pensioners on the Isle of Man also have an occupational pension. That is not the case. There's an awful lot of people on the Isle of Man will be relying solely on their state pension. And, I do feel it was a social contract that was taken out with the government. The fact it's been mismanaged for all these years, and I think actually Dr. Allenson stated that the system hasn't changed since 1948. Well, it did change. It changed when we went into the triple lock system. And I don't feel there's been enough analysis with regards to the impact on the Manx people that do not have occupational pensions. And I know there was going to be a national conversation, and that has been taking place, but it's not been very public in my opinion. I don't think there's been enough consultation for the people that it really does impact.
You have a motion in the House of Keys too, which effectively attempts to stop the Manx pension guarantee being implemented as part of the budget and instead be tabled as its own separate motion. I assume, will you be pushing for amendments or even challenging that proposal when it comes forward?
Well, obviously that motion is in the House of Keys, and that's where I believe policy should be debated. So I've brought that forward to the House of Keys for this coming Tuesday, and it's definitely needing debate. A number of members are really uncomfortable with the changes, and particularly with it being grouped with the budget, because as we all know, the budget in the Isle of Man, you either vote for the budget or you don't vote for the budget, and then they obviously have uprating motions separately. So the way our budget process is, it's fait accompli. You either vote for it or you don't. And if this taking away the triple lock is part of that, I think the options are, well, there's no options really for members. And if you look at the imbalance of the voting now since the Chief Minister's got his 10th minister, it's significant, and I think it deserves proper policy debate by members of the House of Keys, and hopefully it will come back separate for a vote going forward in Tynwald.
Fabulous. Is there anything I missed that you wanted to cover at all?
I don't think so. The only things that really do concern me is I feel it's age discrimination. And if you think about government employees, they can retire at the age of 55. And I think there's a fairer way to look at this and bring forward phased changes of increased contributions for those that can and still have the opportunity to be working and to contribute into the system, to ensure that they have a state pension when they reach retirement age. The people that this is impacting, who would receive that pension from the 6th of April 2019, have not got that opportunity. They haven't got the opportunity necessarily to go out to work and increase their standard of living going forward. And I don't want to see any pensioner on the Isle of Man living with less than the minimum wage or in a poverty situation.
Thank you for making it to the end of the Manx Radio Newscast. You are obviously someone with exquisite taste. May I politely suggest you might want to subscribe to this and a wide range of Manx Radio podcasts at your favourite podcast provider, so our best bits will magically appear on your smartphone. Thank you.